The rain didn't fall. It was a liquid battering ram against the filth-streaked windows of the Crossroads terminal. For Leo, this was the final pathetic act in a year-long disaster, the descriptum of everything: his career, his love, his hope. The single bus ticket in his pocket was a desperate exile to a city he didn't know. He was in check, and the game was nearly over. The terminal was an architectural bruise, a concrete monolith reeking of bleach and despair. The fluorescent tubes sputtered a sickly greenish hum over the few remaining souls slumped in the seats. A janitor scraped a dry mop across the wet floor. The departure board displayed only two names, Millhaven and Ethelgard, both for Bus 13, leaving at 4:44 a.m. Leo realized the truth instantly. His watch and the terminal clock were frozen at 4:44. They were all prisoners of this unmoving hour. The only employee, the attendant, was a silent, gaunt figure in a glass cage. The first crack in reality came when a businessman, Phil, paced nearby shouting into a dead phone. As Phil passed the vending machine, Leo saw his reflection stand still, turn its head, and watch the real man walk past with a gold-knowing smirk. The nightmare had begun. Minutes later, the old man tried to escape. He ran for the main doors, but they were sealed shut. The attendant appeared behind him, whispering, "The doors are locked for your safety. They only open when your ride is called." The old man found a dark emergency door marked "No Re-Entry." He stepped out, and the door slammed. Then came the sound, a wet, horrible tearing, followed by silence. Phil and a teenage girl, Chloe, shared this dark horror with Leo. They were trapped. A shabby woman, Marlena, asked, "They broke the boundary. This is the Crossroads. Things live in the between, and they get ravenous." A deep metallic snarl echoed with the bay. The announcement came, Bus 13 for Millhaven, now boarding. Phil, fueled by false hope, ran for the loading door. Marlena cried, "Look at the bus!" Phil didn't listen. Leo and Chloe watched as a sleek, monstrously black coach rolled in. Its lights were magenta, and the number 13 was scrawled on its side. Phil climbed inside. The bus instantly dematerialized. Marlena spoke, her voice heavy with finality. That was his judgment. Millhaven is a sentence for the arrogant who go to a place of conflict until their anger is consumed. "And Ethelgard?" asked Leo. Marlena's eyes were filled with sorrow. For the defeated, the broken, a quieter end. Chloe, in total despair, asked the attendant for another way out. He replied, "There is only Bus 13. Your destination is already decided." Defeated, she returned to her seat. The final engine sound came, a low, groaning wail. "Bus 13 Traveltart, now boarding." Chloe stared away, her eyes huge. "That's me, I know it is." She walked to the loading door. The Ethelgard bus was a dilapidated rust chucker cell. Its windows revealed pale, weary faces. Chloe stepped aboard. The bus collapsed into mist. Leo and Marlena were alone. The comes for everyone, Marlena whispered. "I'm the commander. I ran, but they left a piece of me here to warn the others to wait." Looking at the ghost of Marlena, a purifying rage ignited in Leo. This was an act of evil designed to consume the damned. He was damned if he was going to be processed without sight. He watched the attendant. "I'm not getting on either, boss." The attendant's voice was like ash. "There are no other options." Leo replied, "But I'll make one." Leo ran towards the door marked maintenance. It was locked, fueled by fury. He slammed his sword into the door again and again until the wood splintered and the door burst open. The attendant was waiting above, a flicker of interest in his eyes. "You cannot go down there." Leo simply said, "Watch me." The basement was a vast, terrifying cavern.
In the center, a grotesque nexus of rusted metal and crackling wires pulsed like a dying heart. The engine of the Crossroads. It was feeding on the life stories of Phil and Chloe. He grabbed a rusty pipe and swung it into the machine's longing core. A shriek of tearing metal and a wave of raw psychic force threw him across the floor. The lights above died. He stumbled up. The engine was dark, dead. He climbed the stairs. The maintenance door was gone, replaced by a smooth wall. The clock was ticking. Its hands showed 4:45 a.m. The attendant was gone. Outside the main doors, the horizon would wash with pale, free dawn. He pushed the doors and they slid open. He had broken the system. He didn't look back at the terminal, now just a cold, ugly building. He had refused the choices and made his own path. He walked away from the nightmare into the messy, uncertain, and beautifully open world of the living.